Assalamu alaikum. Last night, a sister closed 5 Islamic tabs on her phone, stared at the ceiling, and whispered, "Why do I feel further from Allah even though I am trying so hard?" Maybe you know that feeling too. You want to become better. You want to pray more, learn more, change faster, fix every bad habit, heal every wound, and become the version of yourself you imagine in your duas. So you overload your life with reminders, more lectures, more goals, more routines, more pressure, until your journey to Allah slowly starts feeling heavy instead of peaceful. And somehow along the way, your soul becomes exhausted. Not because you don't love Allah, but because you forgot that Islam was never meant to feel like spiritual panic. The Prophet, peace be upon him, did not teach this religion with chaos. He taught it with balance, with mercy, with consistency. Sometimes we think growth means doing everything at once, reading 10 chapters quickly, listening to hours of lectures daily, making endless plans, trying to become perfect overnight, but real transformation usually happens quietly, slowly. One sincere sajda, one verse that truly changes your heart, one dua whispered while everyone else is asleep, one bad habit left for the sake of Allah. That matters more than overwhelming yourself until your heart disconnects. Because the soul does not grow under constant pressure, it grows in calmness and sincerity. Even plants need steady water to grow. Flooding them all at once destroys them. And sometimes we treat our iman the same way. We expect ourselves to heal instantly, to become disciplined immediately, to never struggle again. But Allah never asked you to become perfect overnight. He asked you to keep returning. That's why the most beloved deeds to Allah are the consistent ones, even if they are small. Consistency builds root. Chaos only creates exhaustion. Maybe that's why lately you have felt emotionally drained, not because Allah abandoned you, but because your soul is begging you to slow down and reconnect sincerely. There is a difference between worship that fills the checklist and worship that fills the heart. One ayah reflected upon deeply can change your entire life. One heartfelt astaghfirullah can heal a heart drowning in guilt. One prayer prayed with presence is worth more than prayers rushed without feeling. So breathe. You do not need to compete with everyone online. You do not need to become perfect by next month. You are allowed to grow gently. You are allowed to take small, sincere steps toward Allah. And maybe your biggest spiritual breakthrough will not come from doing more, but from finally slowing down enough to feel close to Allah again. Imagine standing before Allah on the day of judgment, not with a burnout soul, but with a heart that kept trying sincerely even through weakness. That is success. So tonight, instead of overwhelming yourself with impossible expectations, start smaller, pray slower, read slower, reflect deeper, speak to Allah honestly, and let your Deen become a place of peace again instead of pressure. Because hearts bloom beautifully when they grow with sincerity, patience, and calmness, not chaos.